What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Frank Sriracha Jr. with another user-submitted replay here today from Corsair. Corsair was kind enough to submit this replay to me today, and he is our red Vanguard player in the lower left. On the upper right of Broken Crown is PLSTN. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm sure it's got a pronunciation. Playing as the Blue Infernals. And I'm just now noticing that the little glyphs, that there's like, I never noticed that there were like these little glyphs on the on these pillars here on the shrine. That's actually kind of cool. That's super cool, actually. Okay, so a double vault opener here from our Infernal player, whereas Corsair starting off with a barracks. We've seen Corsair go for a it's someone else that I was watching that went for command post first. You just overcharge your servos and you send 5 of them off to build a yeah, here we go. 4 of them, I guess. To go build another command post. And it looks like that's going to go up without any issues here. Double effigies coming on out. We see 2 brutes getting split into 4 fiends. 4 fiends are pretty spicy. That is it's a significant amount because servos can pretty quickly defeat just 2. They can surround and defeat quite easily, but there we go. We got a swipe from the Lancer that gets 2 of them. Are these fiends going to be able to do anything? Not really. If they surround that Lancer though, that Lancer's going to be in trouble. A lot of servos here are just not getting anything done, chasing around these fiends. And we've got 2 more fiends coming up to reinforce from PLSTN. This might be a pretty short game for us. All right, 2 Lancers coming out is where things get really, like, become an actual problem. But I think... Is this going to be... Oh, it's another barracks. Interesting. I would have thought that it would be a command post. Or not a command post, a sentry post. And then you just throw a servo in that. And then it's a repair-matic. And then it just fixes the command post forever. Beautiful positioning on that Lancer to stay in that little choke. So he can... only getting hit by a couple of the fiends at once. Fiends continuing to do their little Velociraptor wiggles and walks. They decide to leave. As mysteriously as they appeared, they left again. So something that I like to do personally is I like to, if you've got a bunch of fiends that are, you know, it's that phase of the early game where they're not that useful anymore. Whoa. 1 HP left on that Lancer. Private Earl Guff. By the way, Frost Giant, I love that you give all the units names now. Private Earl Guff, you need to get to a wellspring like now, bro. There you go. Stay in front of this. Observe the orb. Ponder that orb while you heal up, my friend. Okay, he's up to 33. Earl, you're doing okay. Earl, we're gonna keep an eye on you.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Alright, so 4 Lancers going up against the Stormgate. The mechanical shaking donut that's split into 4 is going to probably get taken down by those Lancers pretty quickly. A couple of mech bays going down for Corsair, and we are going to see some Hedgehogs coming on out. But do we have any response to this? No, we don't have... Alright, the Ritual Chamber is, like, on the way, but it just started. And it's quite late, if you ask me. I think the Ritual Chamber needs to... You really need Curse way ahead of time if you want to be doing, like... What? Did he use that on something? Was that a... Is that a buffed? There's just, like, one really large Lancer now? Where's the... What did he use it on? What did I just watch? What was that? If that was a Shadow Mark and he used the Shadow Mark on nothing, that's a bummer. I think that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm not seeing the avatar buff on anything here. Okay. Takes down a couple of the effigies, but it doesn't really matter that much. 4 Hedgehogs out is quite scary for brutes. Alright, that Shroud Stone's going to be able to scare off the Lancers there. It does do quite a bit of damage per shot. How much is it? Yeah, 40 damage per shot. It goes the effigy. So much for all that, so much for all that shrine energy. Alright, Lancer's putting up the best fight that they can for the front lines. Another effigy taken out. That is so annoying. Of course, they're doing a fantastic job of making sure that PLSTN is burning as much shrine energy as he can. And the best part is he can, well, I guess he doesn't have any med techs out just yet, but finally the curse upgrade's coming out, so the Gaunts are going to be able to start popping phantoms out of whatever unit it is that they curse. Because they can shoot both in the air and on the ground, nothing is safe. First, now that being said, Gaunts are only doing bonus damage against lightly armored units. So you need a whole lot of them to take down air units. And yes, I know everyone's like, oh, but Infernals have the flying baneling called a Shadow Flare. It's like, yeah. You know what counters those that only cost 25 Luminite? A Sky Mine. Sky Mines that take out Shadow Flyers are like, you know, like that one Incredibles meme where it's like, I fear no man. That thing scares me. That's what a Sky Mine is for me. Just because, like, what other anti-air options do you have as an Infernal? Yeah, Hornets are really good as a Vanguard player. Alright, a bunch of hedgehogs showing on up, and I'll bet you that this Vulcan's gonna dash through these trees and make an issue of stuff. Oh no, and the brood upgrade is just starting. Whoa, I can see got some visual bugs here down at the bottom. Okay, so the Hellforge goes down. Oh no, he used a lot of rockets on the gremlins though. And if he can force PLSTN into the choke here and kind of take him out one by one, that would be great. But the Vulcans are very allergic to the Weaver the Weaver harpoon. So instead, Corsair's just going to come back down here to the Stormgate, and he's going to take it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And as they say in the United Kingdom, Bob's your uncle. Robert's your father's brother. Gets the 5 Void Prowlers. I love putting these on their own hotkey, and then as you engage the main army, you have them teleport into the back line and take out the entire mineral line for something. Oh, we've got 5 of them. No, this guy missed the... No, what are you doing? You have to walk it into the Luminite line! Huge fight going down, though. A couple FGs getting taken out as well. Yeah, there's that Vulcan getting lashed up. Another Vulcan gets lashed up. No, Corsair, another Vulcan gets lashed up. No! And everything is cursed. Absolutely everything is cursed. Void Prowler's trying to do what they can against the brutes, but did they do any eco damage? And no, they didn't. That's brutal. We do see the tier 3 upgrade for the medtechs coming up, so we're going to be able to see System Shock become available here soon. System Shock's going to be great. It's a nice cleanse for the for any cursed units. But I've noticed a lot of people use System Shock on the farthest back units on the entire army if you're ever going to use it. Because if you only use it on the units that are in the back, they still have to, like, get around the units that are in front of them that are still slow. So it's like, did you actually buff that unit? Like, yeah, the cleanse is nice, but reapplying curse is not that hard for a Infernal player. There's a lot of... Oh, that's a lot of hedgehogs. Couple of lashes. 1 lash, anyway. Down goes that hedgehog. Now, something else that I think we've seen Corsair do is he builds very far forward. Yeah, this sentry post, but he'll use it as like a little healing station for all of his mech units. Like, look at this. They've all kind of taken chip damage, but imagine just like parking in front of this, and they all get healed up slowly but surely. Oh man, PLSTN. I don't know if you got this idea from me, but I start doing this as well. I'll throw the tribute pyres up in these high ground cliffs just so I have a place where I can throw down permanent effigies and get that shroud right in the face of my opponent. But it's not going to be that easy. Corsair is quite a vigilant player, and he's going to say, nope, get that tribute pyre out of here. And those poor gremlins have nowhere left to live once that tribute pyre is taken down. A lot of interesting little army split here. Oh, are the gremlins gonna get a kill? Yes! Yes, gremlins! Living up to their potential. And the Shroud marches ever closer to Corsair's main. Or to his third and fourth, I should say, but it's technically closer to his main too. Give me a break. Alright, Buzzsaw Cannon. I've always wondered about this. Will it bounce off of the Stormgate? Yeah, yeah, it does. And it hurts the gaunts too. That's really interesting. Oh, that beautiful Atlas set up on the low ground is going to be doing so much damage, but it looks like this Buzzsaw Cannon's not going to be able to fire too many more shots off. Corsair's down to 166 supply to PLSTN's 208. Will he be able to hang on? He's got to be able to do a lot more anti-light damage. There's just so many gaunts and so many Weavers here. In fact, the Weaver's getting up to a critical mass where it doesn't matter how many Vulcans you bring to take care of the gaunts. The Weavers will just nab you before you're able to do much about it. Another Atlas sieged up over here on the ramp and one on the high ground. It's going to prevent PLSTN from going for the kill. But I think if there was just a little more scout, like literally just send one of the Swarmlings over to check if there's a fourth. And that fourth would be in real hot water. Decides not to though. PLSTN going on back to his... Holy smoke, what is this? His fourth, fifth, sixth? Got a seventh coming online here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is the sixth. Not perfectly in a cardinal direction to the Luminite mine. Tisk tisk, I say, from 1550 MMR, but you know, my standards are exacting. They're very high. Not tolerate perfection. Happy boys. They look a lot scarier in the new cinematic, by the way. The Juniper Keen. I didn't know that the Shadow Flyers got names. Orgrim Iron Fist. Miriana the Hollow. Alright, so the Weavers get names. That's kind of cool. Bunch of Lancers coming on up here to do a lot of damage to the Imps, and the Imps are so terrified they're all going to run away. Which makes sense. You don't want them all to, Oh, don't fight in front of the Lancers. Fight in front of the Gremlins. Here comes a reinforcement force from PLSTN, but here's more Hedgehogs. Another a two-pronged attack from Corsair. Looks like those Lances got cleaned up, and PLSTN's going to collapse on Corsair in the middle ground here, but there's a Hurricane that's being a little slow. Ooh, that could have been very scary. Actually, does get a couple of Brutes. But with as many gaunts as were there, I think he could have done significant amount of damage to that Hurricane. Hurricanes are really slow to leave. Getting that done would have been great! Yeah, look at that. So, the Shadow Flyers are flying Banelings. They're so good. Like, how many of those connected with this? 2 of all those. And guess how much, like, I wish we could see a casualty report. I want to show you guys, like, how much Therium and how much Luminite is spent on Shadow Flyers that don't connect. It's insane. Oh no, Corsair's got 189 supply of units going up against PLSTN's 222. All the way back to the ramp between the third and the natural, but these oh no, I was just about to say that the Atlases were getting beautiful connections. Another Atlas. He is going to try to get beautiful connections. The Hurricane's actually doing a pretty good job. And now it's just tier 2 units out on the field. Tier 2 units not known for their durability, at least not the Infernals. Yeah, the Magmadon's pretty buff, but against this many Hedgehogs, the Hedgehogs doing their anti-heavy damage would melt pretty quickly. Again, look, those two flying Banelings from the Infernal end up doing not a whole lot. Yeah, it looks like the tables have turned now. Now it's Corsair that's on the offensive. I don't know if it's just that PLSTN has run out of charges or what. Yeah, that Hurricane needs to get back home sooner than later. And again, it takes 4 shots, takes 4 Shadow Flyers worth of hits, but it's going to go home and repair for free. Ay, ay, ay. Hornet's gonna collapse on top of the, oh no, and there's a Shroud Stone right there. Actually, that is so in your face. Throwing down a Shrine on your opponent's side of the map on their, what should be their 6th base is pretty cheeky. Looks like the Stormgate's gonna fall to PLSTN though. I think he didn't get the most recent one. But this is turning into quite a scrap here. PLSTN's down by about 60-ish supply. Does win the Stormgate, prevents Corsair from getting it, but I'm guessing it's not the Necrolusks that are an option. And Corsair's just gonna sit here and camp it. Oh no, it's a deep one. Deep one dies. Womp womp. And interestingly, this one leaves behind a tiny little human skeleton. Very Attack on Titan of you to do that, Frost Giant. Okay, so PLSTN used to have all the Luminite in the world, but has now mined out their main, mined out their natural. Yeah, getting this Luminite up sooner than later is going to be absolutely imperative. But so has Corsair. Corsair doesn't have much in the way of a natural or a main either in terms of Luminite. A lot of Hedgehogs coming on forward here, trying to get a lot of damage done to the Imps, but the Brutes charge on forward. Oh, the lashes on these, the Weaver lashes on the Vulcans is great, but there's just not enough DPS to take care of them. Another Weaver goes down, but the Hurricane's doing fantastic damage from the sky. Vulcans pouring down the hate, pouring down the flames. Hedgehog is throwing oh, beautiful connections of these flaming Imps right into the thick of all the Hedgehogs, but PLSTN's going to call it GG right there, and it makes sense. He's down by 100 supply, and he's really got nothing left. You pull it out there, and he's got nothing left in the tank. GG's, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome game. Thank you, Corsair, so much for the replay. GG's, guys, and if you liked what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you want to catch these casts live, I'm over at twitch.tv/Frank Sriracha Jr. That's Frank Sriracha Jr. See you guys later.